Hey, what's going on, guys? GFXLab, and we are playing another game of Minecraft. Well, this is another episode of Minecraft. For those of you guys who don't know what Minecraft is, it's the way I spell it is Mindcraft, because it is a mixture of Minecraft and my mind and whatever's I'm thinking at the time. That's pretty much what it's about. Let me see. I do have enough. A shovel. Oh, and this is not the right color. Do I care? Yeah, it doesn't look right. I'm a little bit OCD in that fashion. But those are probably the only trees that I have down there, so should I just burn these? Burn this? And get those trees? I don't know. Or should I just not even worry about it? Actually, I should have built my house. I should have built the floors out of wood and then the exterior out of stone. It's a little late to go back and do it now. But I also need a door and stuff. I need to like build. Yeah, I need to build a door at least. Let's just build one out here. That way. Oh, and it's almost time to go to sleep anyway, so I should go back anyway. But today I wanted to talk to you guys about it's just like my childhood a little bit, and versus like what it's like today. Because I was like thinking of, well, one of my friends said he grew up and he's never been alive where there was no internet. Which I was like, that's crazy, because I grew up and there was no internet. There was literally no internet at all, and it was a little. People think it's crazy, but and I have so much oak wood, so I should just probably do oak. I should probably just burn down what I have right now. I don't even remember how you do flint, but I should just either burn it down or just chop it down. Yeah, I would probably just chop it down since I don't have any flint. But I couldn't imagine what it's like without the internet now. But I do remember I do remember like back then, kind of how it was. We would just we would skateboard, we'd go outside, we'd do all kinds of things that you don't do now. I don't know how many of you guys were around when there was no internet outside. I mean, in the world. But yeah, it was like you were stuck with the shows that you had to watch. And what is this? Oak, wood, birch. Oh, maybe. Wait. Oak. Okay. Yeah, this is the wrong one. Okay, so the birch is the weird one too. Okay, so I'll just chop down the other stuff. Kind of wish I had flint and stone, then I would be working out. But I saw this article about this guy who's talking about data. He's talking about big data, and one of the things that he mentioned was the fact that the fact that people like, I'm trying to wonder if I should. I don't know where the center of this thing is. Let's do it right. That look fine. Let's see. Yeah, I think it looks fine. But he was talking about like how in the past we only had one source for news and everything like that. We only had one source for we literally had one source for news, and in that source for news it was just the TV show. So I mean, you only had your TV shows or whatever. And you only had like 5 stations to check out. Nowadays you have the internet and you have choice. You have choice to be like, you can either watch news from a certain news station, or you could like just choose what you want to watch. Like, nowadays you have a choice. Like if you're a Democrat or a Republican or whatever, you can choose to only watch news for Republicans, only news for Democrats, and you don't get to see the opposite side. So back in the day, there was only TV shows, so you got to see everything. You got to see all the all the conflicting points of view. You got to see everything that, you know, you might not enjoy, but you got to see it and you got to react to it. These days that doesn't happen. You're like just stuck with I mean, these days it doesn't happen because it's so convenient to just stay in your own one-track mind and stay with the people that you want to stay with. I guess there's less conflict, but at the same time there is less understanding of each other. But yesterday I was watching the Boston, the guys who, like the bombers or whatever, the suspects for the bombing at for Boston, I don't know what it's called, what they're calling it, the Boston Marathon bombing. I was watching the guy, or actually someone who was around that whole event was had a CB radio, and they were listening in on what the cops were saying, and I got to listen to the CB radios of the cops arresting the guy. I got to listen to them when they actually captured him, and when they put him in cuffs and everything like that. And it was crazy. I don't know if that's a first for the internet, where you capture like a terrorist. You capture a terrorist for live on the internet. I don't know if has there ever been a live capturing of a terrorist on the internet up until now? That's kind of crazy when you think about it. What is this wood called? Then if the other stuff is whatever it is. Let's see. Oh, it's called spruce. Okay. But it was just crazy, man. The world's getting crazier and crazier every day. There's a nuke thing with North Korea. There's like all the stuff happening with with the Boston Marathon stuff. And then just people in general are just going crazy, and I think part of it's because the internet is because the internet and the amount of information that going out there now these days is crazy. Like you can literally, you have like just a mountain of information that you can get from Google, and once you learn the English language, you're pretty much set. You can go out and figure out the world because you have everything at your disposal. I don't know, like, but at the same time, you only get to just pick and choose what information you want, so you don't get the conflicting points of view. I'm sure like people who are super into their politics, they don't get to understand the full spectrum of what's going on around them. They're just paying attention to their own parties, and it just becomes they don't become as educated as they can be about whatever subject they're talking about. But aside from all that, the internet is awesome. I mean, it's growing, and we're getting used to it. And I think also another thing is we're getting used to it to the point where it's not as interesting, and we're starting to make a shift back to it feels like we're getting comfortable to the internet. So maybe there's a shift that's going back to being we use it for what it is, and it's not a big huge deal, because for a while there I think the internet was going crazy with all the things that people were using it for. Let's see, oak, that's the one I have, right? Oak. Gaming, on the other hand, I've seen like the way gaming has shifted. Man, it was such a trending thing, but now it's still trending. It's just trending in a different way, and especially like people who do YouTube videos, and I think it's interesting to watch the way that it's evolving now. I think it's like it's found its place, and the people who are going to be doing the videos have found their places. But there's all kinds of new stuff out there, always popping up. People are always finding ways to reinvent everything that has happened, and people are, new people come and they have like different ideas about how things should be, and then it's just a huge awesome like shift of ideas. And then there's people out there who don't understand. It's to me it's crazy the fact that there's people out there who still don't understand like what the internet is, or they like there's all these countries that don't have access to the internet, and you know they're still in like straight up poverty. If you see, there's a chart out there that shows like all the countries with the internet. All the countries with the internet are like the most well-off countries. All the ones that don't have internet are all poverty stricken. Let's see. Yeah, let's make this the roof. Should I make it 3 high? Let's make it 4 high. Yeah, we'll do that. After this, I'll go and get some sand. Start cooking a lot of sand. Then we can continue our journeys. I don't know, like, I know a lot of people want me to build, but I kind of like exploring caves. I like doing that. To me, that's more fun than building. But I know a lot of people out there want to see building, and I don't want to. I want to spend half my time. Like, I think the majority of my time that I've spent on Minecraft has been just exploring caves and stuff. But I also wonder, like, if you guys want me to go and explore more caves versus building, let me know and I'll do that, because I like exploring caves more than I do building, but that's up to you guys. Ah, stuck. I'm stuck. Oppressor is my favorite. Okay, we need to chop down some more trees. We need to get some sand. We need to get some coal. We can cook some stuff. So, do I have a nice axe? Yeah, I need more axe. I don't know how you enchant things. I need to learn how to do that, because one of my friends was like, I can't live without enchanting, and I'm like, I don't even know what that is, dude. So he actually I might have my friend on, like, to do some Minecraft videos in the future, because he's super into Minecraft. He loves Minecraft like crazy, and he's one of my work buddies, so I definitely approve of him. And he's a really cool guy, so he might be, I don't know, I might see if he wants to do some videos or do some Minecraft server stuff, because he's also a super talented programmer, so he might be fun to just have on. He's a really cool guy, and he's super meticulous about things, so he's like, he knows exactly what everyone wants, pretty much. Oh, and here's a creeper. Let's kill this creeper, and then we'll get some rest. Come on, bro. No. Oh no, my sword broke. My sword broke. Let's use the rest of the stone axe. No. No. Ah, there we go. Oh man, those creepers, man, they are something else. Someone asked me to talk about dreams, and dreams to me are things that they are things that you want in your life, but since you don't get them in real life, since you don't get them in the physical life, your brain still wants those things. So what ends up happening is that your mind will come up with an alternative reality to that. Like, your brain will create an instance where you actually get all those things that you want. So say you didn't eat all day and you're starving. Your brain, since you always eat, your brain will mimic eating, or at least mention eating while you're asleep. So when you're when you're dreaming, you will dream about food, or you will dream like if you want, you know, a friend, or if you want to do something, if there's something that you really want in your life, there's something that you really want to happen, then you will dream about it. Let's see, what is that? Oak. And what we want is oak, right? Yeah. So to me, dreams are just your mind projecting things that you've wanted. I wonder if, like, actually, another instance of this, like, there's nightmares. To me, nightmares are anxiety, like your anxiety issues. At least that's what I think. I don't know, like they could be something else, but to me, that's what I believe they are. How do I get up here? There we go. Hey, cow. Let's plant some trees. I don't know how many trees are gonna grow by that lava. I feel like a good Samaritan planting all these trees. These eggs. That's funny. Let's get to this tree. I remember when I was a kid, my parents, we used to go out into the middle of the woods and we used to like go pick pinon seeds. I don't know if you guys know what pinon seeds are, but they're like these little nuts that that only grow on pinon trees. And they're like so sought after, and there's only like a certain season that you can get these. I do kind of miss that. Like I miss going out into the woods with my parents. That's the one thing I definitely miss. It's like going, we used to like get a whole bunch of lunch meats, and and we would like go out into the forest and chop down trees and stuff like that. That was a lot of fun. I remember, like, I think specifically I remember my grandpa, like he I remember him trying to teach me how to ride a horse, and I remember him teaching me, like, showing me like these plants that you could eat like raw. It was awesome. My grandpa was like a huge nature guy. Like he literally, I think I've done an episode already telling you guys about my grandpa. I think my grandpa was like, I think my grandpa was like me in a lot of ways. I think the way me and my grandpa used to think about things are pretty much the same way, because he's more of a nature guy. He's more of a realism guy versus what my dad, and I think that's why my dad became the way he became, is because because my grandpa was like more of a realist. I think when you're a kid, and you grow up around like a certain idea or mentality, I think that you just basically become either become like super hardcore like your dad, or you become like the polar opposite. It's just this, I don't know how true that is, but that's just how it's been like for my family. I don't know about that. I definitely know that my dad has impacted me a lot as far as like what I think and the way that I act a lot of times, but I think that like I've become my own person. Like I've become a totally different person than what anybody in my family thought. A lot of my brothers are like in jail and doing really bad things, you know, so for me to come out as something else, it's totally out of the blue. And I think that part of it has to do because my dad, and if it wasn't for my dad, the way my dad handled me and my little brother when we were growing up, I don't think we would be the way that we are. I think that we'd be a whole lot different if like we had a different dad or we had a different situation growing up, because my mom and everyone else kind of were like bad influences. Not my mom, but my mom was always like once she met my dad, I think it like changed her as well. That's not saying that my mom is like crazy or anything. She's not like, at least she hasn't been for me. But maybe my brothers and sisters, maybe they had a different experience with my mom. So I don't know. It's kind of weird thinking about that. But I think like the dreams that my dad have had and the dreams that my mom have had have they've come through in a different way. And I mean, I think that they have like totally different dreams than what I think me and my little brother imagined us having, especially now, like with the internet and everything coming out and all the things that we do nowadays. You couldn't think beyond, you know, just that realm where they're thinking. And what I mean by that is like they they grew up with both, like I said, the internet. You know how the internet makes it so that you can just pick and choose, you know, what content you want to watch or what content you want to fill your mind with. So your dreams and what you are striving for and what your brain will create during those, you know, what you're like, what you really want in your life is just purely based on what you're given, as far as the information that you're given, like in the news and stuff like that, like your surroundings. So if you're fed like dual, you know, the dualism of a lot of what was happening like back in the 90s, which is, you know, you're either Republican or you're either a Republican or you're either a Democrat or you're either a Christian or you're either an atheist. You know, those type of views. I think that, you know, just based on that, you're gonna have different values and you're gonna want different things for yourself. But like as the world changes, and the world's gonna change like drastically, then your ideas about what you want are gonna change, and you're gonna become totally different. And it's just what you grow up doing. It's just like imagine the kids that are growing up with tablets in their hands. Like they're gonna want something totally different than someone who grew up with a Game Boy in their hands, or somebody who grew up with a pen and paper in their hands. Like I did. I grew up with a pen and paper, and everything started from that. Even today, when I come up with ideas and when I come up with things, it all starts from the pen and paper. I don't like sit down and write, like especially when I write songs. I always sit down with a pen and paper, and I think thoroughly about what I want, what kind of emotion I want to put out in a song, what kind of things I want to what kind of things I want to say, and a lot of times it just rolls off my tongue, like and onto the paper, and I just think about like, man, this would be funny if I said this, or it'd be awesome if I said this at this point. And then I listen to the beat, and then a lot of times I start with the beat first, and then I start writing the lyrics after. I listen to the beat first, because to me, like, that is the key thing. The most important thing about writing music is just the music itself. And I think also another thing is having a scenario for your music. If you have a scenario for your music, then you can kind of invoke the same feelings. Like if you think about like, I want this to be like, one second. Have some Dr. Pepper. But if you think about the feeling that you, or the scenario that you want to be in when you're listening to that music, it makes making music a whole lot easier. Like if you want say you want to make a rap beat that is specifically for people who are going to be bumping it in their car, you're going to make it totally different. You're going to have a scenario in your mind on what that means, and then you're going to go out, and if you can feel it enough, and then you're in the right moment with the right beat, then you will create an awesome song. And that's how the guy who made All Gold Everything, well, the way he made that song is he thought about like, man, I have all these songs that I have in my album, but I don't really have one for the hood. That's what he said, like where I grew up. I don't really have one that really speaks to the people that I grew up with. So I need to sit down and write one specifically for the people in my hood, or whatever he said. But so when he's thinking about those songs like in that fashion, or when he's thinking about, he gets into that mode and he starts thinking about the scenario, and then he can start dreaming up what he actually wants the beat to feel like, and then the beat kind of comes on its own, and it makes it more fun too. Because I remember when I was first writing my first Call of Duty songs, I was like, I didn't think about views, I didn't think about any of that. I just thought like, oh man, this would be awesome. And I was thinking like it would be hilarious if I said this or if I did that. And in the beat, I came up with the whole scenario of what I was gonna do before I even started writing, or before I even started looking for a beat. And either looking for a beat or making a beat. I've made beats. I made like this, like I have a Call of Duty song that's a Spawn Rape song. I've made those beats, and they're pretty basic beats, but I think like those are some of my better songs that I've done. I wonder if I should make this, how I should make this roof. Should I make it like, should just make it flat. That's boring. I should do glass. Nah. Let's see. Well, I would definitely want to do like a roof that, I'll do like a stone roof. Let's see how much stone I have. I'm gonna have to go out and get some more stone. Let's do like stone pillars too, so that way it looks cooler. Like for now, I'll just do like stone pillars. I think when I was growing up, if I had the chance to be, I think all the time I always think, man, like I wish I was like I grew up in a rich world, because if I grew up being rich, then I would have a rich person mentality. It's kind of like the mentality of if the peasants or whatever, they always dream about wanting to be rich, right? A peasant always wants to, they're striving to always, that's their wish, is to be rich. Well, an emperor has never dreamed about being an emperor or being like, being that wealthy. They just are. And I think sometimes I need to change my reality and change the way that I think, and instead of wanting to be rich or whatever, instead just be it. Just go out and be it, rather than like sitting around trying to expect myself to be something that I have yet to be. And I think that it takes time for those things to happen. It takes time for you to shift your mentality, but when you make that shift, that's when everything starts to happen for you. And I have someone in my life that is super influential in a lot of things I do, and at least recently, and I think that his influence has like changed the way that I think about things. There's like a boxer mentality where you have like you go into a fight, and Mike Tyson does this. He'll like size up the competition. He'll size up the people that the person that he's going to be fighting, and then he pretty much let's look at this wooden plank. There we go. He'll size up his competition, like he'll just stare at them in the face, and he never breaks away. He never breaks away from that stare, and he just keeps staring until until the other guy pretty much gives up. And the moment the other guy like turns away or like looks away from him, he knows that he's got him. He knows that he's done. He knows that he's won the fight already. He doesn't have to try anymore. The guy's already dead. All Mike Tyson has to do now is follow through with, with destroying the guy pretty much, and following through with it, because he's already beat him mentally. Like if the guy's already beat mentally, there's no coming back from that. The guy's done. And I always think about that, like in my life and the things that I do, like how do I set myself up so that, or what do I stare at? What am I sizing up? What is the next obstacle? And I would like to think like that I have some sort of sense of what's next, but I don't know a lot of things. I'm always like, I always think about things way too much before I even do them, and that's something that that this person has mentioned to me, is like I need to stop talking about things, and I need to start doing things. And even talking about things can even be like in your mind. Like you could be talking too much in your mind about something, rather than sitting down thinking about like your situation, thinking about how you're gonna do, how you're gonna accomplish your goals. Instead, you stand there, like you start thinking about like the little things and the logistics and stuff like that, instead of just doing stuff. And I realize that is an issue that I definitely have, and I need to work on that, because that it's gonna take time for me to actually do something with that, because my mind has been that way this entire time that I've been. That this is probably the reason why I hold myself back on a lot of things, and the reason why I get really good at something and then I just give it up. And I think it's just because I can't follow through. I don't know. There's something in me that just won't let me follow through. I need to make some windows. I need to make the roof. I'm trying to think like how I'm gonna do the roof. Instead of thinking about it, let's just create the roof. Let's just create the roof and do it. Just like I said I was gonna do. I need to create a bridge or something. Ugh. So let's do some practice of this ability. I've always thought about what it means to be in the future. Like what is the future gonna hold for us, and what are our dreams gonna be in the future? And then I try and imagine, and I try and let my mind like break away from a lot of things that I've learned so far in my life, and just start like focusing on what I can create next. And a lot of things that people create that make a lot of money are always things that are just so obvious. They seem like they should be obvious, but it always takes us time to figure it out. And I think like I always think like, man, I could create the next something awesome or whatever. I could create the next new awesome app or invention or something along those lines. But sometimes I just don't. I think about it too much, and then it just nothing ever comes to it. And I myself, I'm learning programming logic again. I started from the very beginning, where you just learn the logic behind programming, and then later on you follow up with the syntax. And syntax is like the actual language, the actual programming code. So I'm teaching myself right now. I'm teaching myself programming language in general, and then I'm gonna start teaching myself AS3, which is ActionScript 3. And then once I learn ActionScript 3, then I can start making games for iPhone and stuff like that. So I definitely want to make some games. I have some ideas for some stuff, but it's gonna take me a while to actually to get back into that mode, because programming, I think, well, another thing is I need to think about the core idea as well, like the core idea of the game I want to build. Otherwise it's gonna be pointless if I can't think of like a really if I can't think of a game to follow up with from all this training, then it's like I just wasted a lot of time trying to train myself on something that I probably won't follow up with. But I think with programming I'll probably get into it really hardcore, because I love programming. The reason why I love programming is because of the aha moments. You know, like when you figure something out, when you figure out like, oh man, like you think of a really cool idea, or actually you think of like something you want to build, and then there's like this really hard, there's just something about it that you can't figure out, and then when you finally figure that out, it's kind of like I get the same thing in design. When I think about like when I do designs, a lot of designing that I do is just problem solving. It's just solving like an issue that a certain application wants to have or wants to do, or literally, like, I think graphic designers are really just problem solvers. I don't see, like, there's, to me, I don't see graphic design as a way of I see graphic design as like a way of solving issues in a visual manner. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but I see like graphic design as just that. And there's something called UX and UI and all those things where you actually like focus on what the user's going to use your program for. For me, I just want I just want to make an iPhone game that is super addictive, like Angry Birds, and looks really cool. I want it to look epic. I want it to look like, you know, like those epic saga games, like probably, I don't know, like Final Fantasy type graphics with, you know, just a really addictive interface, really addictive game that is just, and you have to think about this. I have to think about the scenario as well. Like, where do I want people to be playing this? I have to think about like the user, who I want to attract. Do I want to attract, like, you know, do I want to make it more like adult based and, you know, have like some adult humor in it, or do I want to do something that is more along the lines for kids, or do I want to do something that is that can reach both audiences? And that's another thing that I have to figure out eventually. But for now, I think that it's going to be cool. Just learning. I think it's really fun just learning how to program, because it gives me a whole different set of ideas. It gives me it gives me dreams. Like I said, my nose is just really itchy right now. But it gives me a whole different mode, a whole different mindset. It is nighttime. Do I have my sword? Yeah, I do. Should I just bum rush him? Let's sneak up on him. I don't want to go out that way. There's going to be like... How do you dodge them? Let's just bum rush him. Oh, and he's trying to kick down my door. Upstairs, he's trying to do it. Hey. Oh, he's inside my door. That's why. Alright, let's just get out of here. He's gonna bust down my door. Gotta go to bed. Save my door. Alright, there we go. Boom. That's like launching a nuke right there. He should be burning up now. Haha. Ah. God, these guys are so annoying. Let's see. Let me in the door. Oh my God. Come on, dude. Are you serious? No, 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 no. Oh, it only, wow. That's cool. At least it didn't blow up anymore. I'm glad they made creepers less destructive. My nose, man. Anyway, I think I've explained enough to you guys. I think this has been another Minecraft episode. I think this has been like probably one of the more boring ones. I don't know. I usually have things to talk about, but this time I was kind of just winging it. And if you guys want me to talk about something in specific, let me know, and I'll definitely talk about something more specific to you. But as far as dreams go, like I said, dreams are literally just things. They're projections in your mind of what you wanted to happen in your life, but never came true. So your mind will compensate with that in a way that it creates like a false, it creates like the illusion of you doing that, whatever it is that you're wanting to have happen in your life. So that to me is what a dream is. But it has been another episode of Minecraft. Let me throw up some torches up in this piece so that none of these creeper no one spawns in here. Be a pretty big house. Be crazy. There we go. That should be good. Alrighty, my house is almost done. I just need to get some glass now next. Probably huge glass windows. Be pretty awesome. This has been another building episode of Minecraft. Think I'll finish up my house on the next one and talk to you guys about whatever you guys want me to talk about. And hope you guys have an epic day, epic night. Peace out.